if you're going to do something, you got to do it right. I always say that. What's the point of doing it if you're not going to do it right, especially when it comes to game development and DLC. WWE 2K24 has announced they're releasing the WCW pack, and they've announced the roster for that, and they're including a bunch of superstars that are going to be a part of this pack. And oh my goodness, is this something that you've been waiting for? Is this the greatest thing of all time? WCW is back! Well, we do know we're getting the classic WCW War Games Arena. They're going to include that from Fall Brawl. That's going to be included. We also know that DDP, the Great Muta, Lex Luger, Mr. Perfect, who should be Kurt Hennig, and the Iron Sheik are going to be there as far as the playable characters in that DLC, which I will say is probably one of the most lackluster rosters and DLC packs that I've ever seen. Just throw it together with people that, you know, DDP we've already played as, Mr. Perfect we played as, Luger we played as, Muta we've never played as, Iron Sheik we played as before, so just kind of yeah, all right. When I think of WCW, this is definitely not the pack that I think of when it comes to WCW. Literally, you could take anybody that's not been in a WWE game, throw them in there, and you'd have something great. Also, when it comes to WCW, you could literally just make a pack of arenas, and people would get that. WCW has some of the most iconic stages and setups and arenas, and there's so many. Even like Nitro had so many crazy stuff, so even you could just put those in there, and that would make for an awesome DLC pack. So I actually put together a list of guys that I think would be, you know, top billing for a DLC pack if it comes to WCW, and I also put together a bunch of arenas that I think would be top billing for WCW as far as what we could get here. We have Hogan, obviously number one. He's in the game for WWE, so you don't need to put him, maybe just different attire. Hall as well, been in WWE games. Nash as well. Sting, Goldberg, Macho Man, all been in WWE games, but you could do WCW attires. That'd be cool. Just have another version that gives you WCW attires. That'd be cool too. Eddie, been in the games for years. Ray, been in the game. Scott Steiner in the game. You get the My Faction, play My Faction, you get the Persona card. There you go. We have Conan is a name that has really never been in a WWE game. I'm not saying Conan's a top bill star, but he definitely was a WCW star. So if you could put him in there, that would be awesome. Sid Vicious, cool guy. Love to see him as DLC in this. Jeff Jarrett was a huge one. Huge part of the later days of WCW. I know they don't have a great relationship. He went in the Hall of Fame. Put Jeff Jarrett in the WCW pack. That'd be awesome. I'd love to play as that Slapnuts. That'd be cool with the shirt and the guitar and all that and the entrance and everything. That'd be sweet. Raven, he's a huge WCW, the Flock, all that stuff. You remember him? Yeah. Get him in the game. If you have Raven, you got Muta. You got to put Vampiro in here, right? Why is Vampiro not a part of the game? Yeah, but he's not. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. But if you think of later WCW, they tried to push Vampiro, and they had a program with Sting, and that's a big deal for that. So to do that, that would be awesome. Any of the cruiserweights. The list of cruiserweights go on and on and on. You talk about guys in the cruiserweight division or smaller guys that have worked for the company. Billy Kidman worked for ever and ever and ever. You got to put, you know, why is he not there? Billy Kidman should be in the game. He's been part of WWE for years. Norman Smiley, also another guy that's worked backstage. Why has he never been in a WWE game? He works for the company. You could license him, put him in the game, put the big wiggle in the game. I would love that. That would be so much fun. Of course, you know, I mentioned guys that have been in games before, but they actually including some guys here. Like I said, DDP, Luger, Kurt Hennig, Great Muta, all going to be a part of that DLC. But literally take any of the cruiserweights that have never been in a WWE game. You could have a pack of all these guys and put them in the game. That would be so sick, just to play as all these cruiserweights. Again, you have the license for these guys. You know, you own WCW. You don't have a license for the guys, but you could reach out and get the license for the guys. I'm sure a lot of those guys that are, you know, lower card WCW guys could come into the game like this and be like, okay, that'd be cool. I don't mind being in a WWE game. You know, what are Chronic up to these days? I don't know. Call Chronic up and say, yo, you want to be in a WWE game or whatnot, or whoever licensed. I don't know how they license this, if there's some managers or whatever, how they get the rights to all that. But literally, just, yeah, go license some of these people that have not been in games. And it's not that it needs to be the greatest, best WCW guys, because I think that's what they think. They think, oh, well, we have to have like top tier guys so people can complain. If you are faithful to the brand of WCW, if you're faithful to the product, anything past 97, really, they literally stop at 97. That was like peak WCW. They love to say like, oh yeah, that was the top, 97, 98. I honestly think 98 was a better year for WCW, but for some reason they seem to like stop at 97, it feels like, and they go, okay, anything after 97, we're never going to cover a WWE game. So that really stinks. So if you're doing this WCW pack, just have a lot of guys in the game that are faithful to WCW and the era that it was, and you could have them in the game. I know people complain like, oh, this guy's in the game, but this guy, why is that this guy, this guy, this guy? But if you have like a ton of people that are just, you know, that was WCW. Not everybody was great, but there were a lot of people on the roster, so you could fit a lot of those people in the game. Now, when you talk about WCW, you have to talk about the stages. They are including the WCW Fall Brawl War Games Arena, which is not too great, but it is in the game, so they're doing that. We have to talk about arenas that I would just put in the game. I would probably just make an arena DLC if it was up to me. That would be something that I would do. Give us all the arenas that we could possibly have ever in the history of ever. But literally just put WCW Thunder. They've never put Thunder in a game. Why don't you put the Thunder Arena in the game? Thunder. Just put there. I think there's a couple, maybe 2-3 versions of Thunder. I know sometimes they taped after Nitro, so they just replaced the graphics or whatever. But if you could literally just put the Thunder Arena, that would be the coolest thing ever. Any WCW Nitro special stage, I would say, is what I'm talking about. So like Spring Break when they did the pool and they had the pools side to the ring, put that in the game. I know some modders have put that in the game, and that's really cool. Do that. Nitro, the Nitro at Mall of America where they debuted there. You don't have to, you know, it doesn't have to be Mall of America. You just do Mall, and it's like sort of similar, but it's not. I know you probably can't license the exact thing, but you could create something similar to that people would be very happy with. Just do that. Saturday night, like faithful Saturday night with the robots and all that stuff would be pretty cool. I love the robot stage for Saturday night. That is really, really cool. And then I would do any WCW 2000 arena. I feel like, again, like I said, 97, they kind of just stop there and they don't go anything past that. It's like, why not? Why not? I mean, you got Super Brawl, Uncensored, Greed, Spring Stampede, Super Brawl, Slamboree, Great American Bash, tons of those. Bash at the Beach, tons of different one of those. Hog Wild, Road Wild, tons of those. New Blood Rising, Fall Brawl, Halloween Havoc. We have the 97 Halloween Havoc in the game, but give us more. World War III, do that. Put that match type in there. You imagine if they did World War III and put that match type in the game. They have multiple rings in the game now. They know how that works. Put World War III in there. You can have 3 rings. You can do the Royal Rumble style thing. And then, yeah, I would just love to see that. Starcade, Mayhem, anything, man. I'm telling you. Sold Out, Sin. There's a million. Do you see what I'm getting at? I'm not going specific on the years or whatever, but you see the idea here. They have so many unique stages in WCW that putting an arena pack of just all arenas for WCW would be awesome. You put some wrestlers out there that are not usually in the game. Make a WCW Cruiserweight pack, right? You get Cruiserweights, you get Sold Out, you get Sin, you get Greed. I don't know what else you want to put in there, 2000 stuff. Focus on an era that isn't covered in the WWE games. Now, I don't know if that's something you're going to do in future games as far as like a story mode or whatever you're going to do, but literally just go ahead and do this if you're going to put out a WCW pack. Because if you're putting out packs like this and you're going to say, oh, well, this is the pack that's going to be the WCW pack, and you only put out like 5 superstars that are, DDP's already been in games, Lex Luger's already been in games, so it's like, what is the point? Kurt Hennig, I've played as him before. Why? The only new one we have is Muda, and I guess Muda, all right, but when I think of WCW, Muda is not a name that I really think of as like core WCW guys. I mean, there's a lot of guys before him: Sid, Jarrett, Raven, Norman Smiley. He works for the company. He works for the WWE. Just put him in the game. Billy Kidman. Come on. I played as DDP. I played as Luger. I played Kurt Hennig. Even the other guys like Hogan, Hall, Nash, Sting, Goldberg, Macho Man, Eddie, Ray, put all their different attires in there. But if you're going to put Persona cards out of their WCW stuff, that's what you want to do. That's how you're going to market the game. I get that. I understand that. That's what you want to do. But if you just put out a DLC, I'll buy them. I'll get all their attires. I'll make it happen. I'll make it a thing. Put out the arenas, man. If we get an arena pack, I would be so stoked. And the reason I'm so passionate about this WCW pack is because I love WCW. They were so unique. Their sets and their stages and their presence and their superstars were so different than the WWE. And the way that they had it was so cool. And we are going to cover WCW in these games. Why not do it properly? Why not do it the right way? If you're doing it for other reasons, if you're just putting it in the game because, well, yeah, we got him in the game. Yeah, we did a WCW pack. We did it. We said we were doing a WCW pack, so there it is. We did it. But that's the wrong attitude to have. Don't do that. Do like an ECW pack, right? You do an ECW pack where you have all the couple ECW arenas, some legends that were never in a WWE game, and you're filling it out. I mean, there's ways to go about this, and there's ways to make it right. And you have the license for WCW. Just, I don't know how you can do it or what you can do to make it right, but please do it. Maybe they don't have the, that's the only thing I can think of. The only thing I could think of out of the top of my head is that they do not, absolutely 100% do not have the WCW bird logo, that they don't have the copyright to that. That's the only thing I could think that they do not own. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just guessing off the top of my head because we've never had that arena in a game. The bird logo arena is so cool, awesome, iconic stage. Setup looked crazy. I loved it. Never been in a WWE game. Why do they do that? I don't know. But if you're gonna, talk about history, you're gonna put WCW in the games. Do it right. Please do it right. Anyway, guys, if there's anybody I'm forgetting, things I'm forgetting that you'd put in for a WCW pack, please do let me know. As always, I'm TonyPizzaGuy. We will see you in another video.